And we're live! Hello all and welcome, and I'm the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. Ah! That's right, it's time for another episode of Crazy Shit. Crazy shit. Shit that's so crazy that when I read it, it makes my fucking head explode. So, to do this show, I have to go through a lot of news, right? It takes a while, especially to do these crazy shit shows, because I've got to find the primo crazy shit. The shit that's so crazy, it's like the crack or the cocaine that's 100%. That they have mixed any baby powder or corn starch or anything into it, like the holy grail for fucking crack cocaine junkies, baby. And of course, you know that's very rare because I haven't heard of a drug dealer yet, at least in my long hours of in the past watching, those crime dramas that I don't watch anymore because they've all become feminist shit shows. But like SVU, like Law and Order SVU, yeah, holy grail, baby. The most crazy shit. The most primo of the nutty news. And of course, those stories that rate a level 10 on the nuttiness scale, they don't come along all the time. So it takes a while. It takes a while to, culminate that number of nut job stories. So, that's why I don't do these shows all the time. And of course, if I did it all the time, it would lose its special feel, right? Wouldn't be special anymore. Yeah, so got a lot of nutty, crazy fucking stories to discuss. So let's get right to it, shall we? All right, let's see what we got. I got a lot of good shit. A lot of good shit, a lot of good pictures, video. It's so nutty. And I spend what little free time I have doing various things, but some of it I spend on Facebook and Twitter, although I'm responding ever less to the leftist nut jobs because, I've come to realize that talking to fools doesn't help very much. And you can say, yeah, well, realist philosopher, there's lots of people watching, it could help them. I don't know. Seems like ever less people have the ability to think critically, use their brains to get any benefit out of listening to anything sensible I have to say. At least on a little text message mixed together with other text messages on obscure postings on social media sites. I get my message out through these videos, through these live streams. That's the most effective way I can communicate logic and reason to people. So, crazy story number one. I don't remember the name of that one big fat feminist that says all men must die. Oh my God, what am I talking about? That's all of them. That's all of them. Jesus Christ. You can't even delineate these days anymore. They all hate men. Well, we got another one here. And this story is from The Pluralist. And she's a school teacher. It's very interesting. You become a school teacher, half your students are going to be men. Why? Or boys, whatever. The males, right? They hate males. Why would you become a school teacher where you're going to be working with people who you hate? Where half the people you're going to be working with, you hate them. Why would you do that? Why? Another reason I can think of is so you can harm them, right? I hate men. If you hate somebody enough, you're going to want to fuck with them. You're going to want to fuck them up. You're going to want to destroy them. You're going to want to do harm to them. So, the close proximity, it gives you the ability to get back at them for whatever imagined slights you feel they've inflicted upon your people. Even though race and sex are social constructs. But somehow you have a people. Even though in your relativistic world, there's no such thing as peoples. Morons. Morons. All right, so this feminist teacher tells boys that women will cut off your dicks once they take over. First of all, women have already taken over, okay, but not completely, not enough. We got one nut job governor in Oregon who's showing you exactly what leftists will do when they get into power. She's co-opted the state police, turned them into her jackbooted Nazi mercenary thugs and told them to go and abscond with these evil, horrible state senators who are Republicans and decided to, abstain from the vote, which makes it impossible for her to pass her ridiculous global warming, Green New Deal, backdoor deal, right? That'll destroy the economy of Oregon. It makes it impossible. So you got to go grab them. You got to go and abduct them. You have to go and essentially kidnap these people. Because, just because you're a cop doesn't mean you can just go grab people off the street randomly. They have to have committed a crime, some form of breach of the public trust and of the law that means they forfeit their right to bodily autonomy to a certain point, and then that gives you justification to go and grab them up and put them in a jail cell because they've broken the law. They've given you some actual reasonable reason to put them in the hooskow. You can't just go grabbing people because they're not doing what you want them to do. Oh, those goddamn evil Republicans. They're not here to vote on this bill. I declare that a crime. Go grab them. What? That tells you what happens when these people get into power. So you know what? I believe this chick. I absolutely believe her. And you know what? You ought to believe her too. These people are telling you what they're going to do. When you go online, you see all these fucking posts on Twitter. Bathe in male tears. I want men to die. White men, of course. Black men apparently aren't men, I guess. I don't know. It's always white men. White men need to die. White men are evil. Cut off white men's cocks. Castrate them. Apparently you don't have to do that. There's this whole movement of men cutting off their own cocks. They're called NULOs, N-U-L-L-O. Apparently they're doing it to themselves. And the ones that don't, she's going to do it to them or make sure it gets done to them. Yeah. She's going to be the czar of castration when the New World Order gets implemented. Castration czar! Yeah, wow, this is like a nutty broad. Let's take a look at her. Okay, I got her picture here. Let me see here. All right, Pig Woman 1. Oh! Wow, she's ugly. Oh, my God. Yeah. I guess she really doesn't need to worry, about not being able to find cock if she cuts all the cocks off, because ain't no man wants her anyway. She looks like that big fat broad in Mamma Mia or something. She looks like a big fat Greek broad that ought to be, I don't know, yelling at everybody and telling them how to live their lives. Like in that Medea movie, that dude that plays abroad. She looks like him, but a white version. This is great. This is fucking great. Listen to this. An audio recording released this week captures Aurelia Vera. She might even be Greek. I don't know if that's a Greek name. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's Turkish. I don't know what her fucking name is. Who knows? But, yeah, Aurelia Vera. What a nice name. You would think it would be attached to a nice lady. Yeah, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. Anybody that is advocating for cutting the cocks off of innocent boys because, I believe in the whole toxic masculinity bullshit. Yeah, she's nuts, okay, and evil, or just evil. Yeah. A school teacher who is also a socialist city council member. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how every single feminist you run into is a socialist as well. Could there be some kind of correlation? Could it be that feminism is nothing more than cultural Marxism? No! Council member in the Canary Islands town of Puerto del Rosario is telling teen students that boys should be castrated at birth. Well, then how would they grow into men? They wouldn't, and then they'd never rape women. Well, I mean, you nutty school teachers wouldn't be able to get them to rape you either, would you? Or you wouldn't be able to rape them. Yeah, see? Oh boy, those evil programmed ideas can sometimes slip to the surface if you're not conscientious, right? Yeah, this idea that little boys could be raping old women when it's the old women raping them. Oh, because the act of rape involves penetration, so even if she's raping him, he's really raping her, you morons. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't be able to rape these boys anymore, sweetheart. You big, fat, ugly land whales. The only dick you can get is 12-year-old dick. What are you going to do for cock now? We'll just resort solely to dildos. Okay. And then we'll peg these little boys, too, just to get back at them even more. Because cutting off their cocks wasn't enough. Oh, wow, okay. You're nuts. Jesus Christ. How is this woman a teacher? How would they allow her around kids after this video popped up, or this audio? As part of a thought experiment in which students were asked to envision a matriarchal society. Why don't you just have a thought experiment about pedophilia? Well, talk about inappropriate. I don't get this. You can't just be in a school, in a class with a bunch of little kids and use the excuse of, "Don't experiment, it's just academic." You can't use that as an excuse to be this inappropriate. I'm sorry. You can't. I know you people like to think anything is allowed, but it ain't. All right, I got to get rid of her ugly face. I'm afraid I'm going to turn to stone. I keep looking at this broad. Jesus Christ. All right, pig woman 1, goodbye. Oh, she's hideous. I bet if she was a good-looking broad, she might not have those opinions. Then again, hard to say. Even good-looking broads that are entitled cunts and who have men giving them shit oftentimes hate men. So who knows? The recording, published Thursday by Spanish newspaper O Diario, kicked up a firestorm. Oh, Spain. Yeah, okay. Europe is a estrogen fest. Yeah. A backlash that included a denunciation of the educator's behavior by Francisco Serrano, the anti-feminist leader of Spain's Vox political party. Yeah, I was probably close when I said Turkish. The Muslims ruled Spain, what was it, for like 800 years? Yeah, there's a lot of Muslim blood in that country. That's why so many Spanish are very dark complected as compared to other Europeans. Serrano has filed a complaint in the Spanish court system against Vera. You go, my friend. Good for you. Claiming he has received numerous messages on Facebook from concerned parents of students in her class. Why isn't she fired? Is she fired? Did she get fired? I bet she didn't get fired. Yeah, she got a vagina. They don't get fired. Vera is a ranking member of the Puerta del Rosario branch of the Spanish Social Workers Party. Oh, really? Probably part of a very strong teachers union as well, so she can't just be sacked. Wonderful. Multiple outlets reported that she also teaches languages. Oh, God. Boy, she's made herself indispensable. Oh, yeah. So she can voice her degenerative, regressive, retarded views, indoctrinate the next generation of youth because, she's protected by her socialist cadre. According to El Diario, the teacher's comments came as part of a discussion centered around Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. The fuck has this got to do with that? A novel-turned-Hulu series depicting a dystopian nation called Gilead, in which women are relegated to sexual slavery. Okay, well, what does that have to do with castrating men? I mean, if you castrated them, they couldn't be sexual slaves. They need a woody to get you broads off. Well, I guess they could use their mouths. I guess you would just have sexual slaves to go down on you. But anybody could do that. Why don't you just get with other broads? Oh, boy. A lot of them do these days, by the way. Atwood's work has become increasingly popular among feminists who see in Gilead an accurate reflection of modern-day patriarchal society. Oh, really? You morons! Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of broads out there today who are sexual slaves in the West, right? Yeah. Oh, I got one right now. Yeah, in the other room, chained up. Yeah, they're everywhere. So what are you talking about? This is crazy. Yeah, because there's lots of sexual slaves openly kept in America, right? Yeah, it's in the law. It's enshrined in law. You can have sex slaves. You could have a harem of women chained up in your fucking house. And it's totally legal. It's 100% protected by the Constitution, don't you know? Oh, wait. It's not? It's bullshit? That's a lie? There is no patriarchal society that is essentially giving not just tacit approval, but outright approval to sex slaves? Really? But this broad's saying otherwise. She's saying that in Western society, it's openly accepted to have sex slaves. No? I don't know where the fuck she's living then. Oh, fantasy land! An abstraction of her own creation in her mind that doesn't in any way, shape, or form apply to objective reality. You fucking retard broad, you. How could people as stupid as this broad be teachers? I have me a piece of paper. I can teach. Yeah. Low standards indeed. Wow. Oh, my God. El Diario reported that Vera prompted students to imagine a society in which the roles were reversed and women physically subjugated men. Well, then wouldn't the men be kept as sex slaves and they wouldn't have their schlongs cut off? I mean, what good is a Wayman that's had her pussy carved out? I don't understand this. That's the equivalent. What is she talking about? She's just expressing her man hate. She's using the excuse of a thought experiment to express her man hate because she's just bubbling over with hatred for men and boys. What is she doing teaching in school? She hates boys. By the way, so do a lot of teachers in general. They're all Waymen, and most Waymen are feminists. So, yeah, at least in Western countries. My God, this is nutty shit. This is the alleged context of Vera's remarks heard in the Okidiario recording. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm pretty sure I didn't. These are her exact words. Boys should be castrated at birth. Well, how are they going to grow up to be the strong soldier ants, huh? If they have no testosterone from birth, won't they just be a bunch of dummies? Lower IQs than the broads, perhaps, and no muscle mass. Oh, I think I'm starting to see a trend here. That's what you want. How are you going to have kids? I don't think she's thought this through. If you castrate all the boys at birth, wouldn't humanity die out? I mean, if you castrate them, they can't make any sperm. Oh, we'll just figure out a way to turn our own eggs into sperm as well. You do understand that there's not enough eggs. I mean, you broads don't make that many eggs. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't think she's figured anything out in her long, fat, obese life. Yeah, they should be castrated at birth, but selectively. Oh, I see. So you want to have a class of like the Morlocks, living underground, dumb soldiers that'll obey everything you tell them. They'll do the heavy lifting, right? I see. And then you'll keep some men as breeding stock. This is what they want, man. I don't think you get how much feminists hate men. They would just love to have a world where us dudes are all separated into our different tasks, our different castes. These are the breeders. These are the workers. It fits very nicely in with their, socialist view of the world. And their view of the world is differing groups and collectives. Oh, boy. You're seeing a window into the mind of a feminist here. One that's probably a little more unhinged than most, or at least more honest, I think. I think the majority of them are actually this unhinged. They just, are smart enough not to be this honest about it. Yeah, they should be castrated at birth, but selectively, to avoid the extinction of the species. Oh, you really thought out your psychotic fantasies, haven't you? Vera said in response to a student's question. I wonder how old these students are. I don't think there's any age they could be that this would be appropriate. We must make men stop governing so they give power to us. You already have power. I don't understand this. I don't know why people don't understand how the world works. The women are the ones that vote in the politicians, okay? That's how we got Justin Trudeau, all right? Why'd they elect him? I don't know what you're talking about. If women wanted women to have power, they'd be electing women. Women are running all the time. The women are electing cute dudes. Oh, I think he's so dreamy. I don't get it, by the way. I think his nose is weirdly shaped. His face is weirdly shaped. He looks like Fidel fucking Castro. Yeah, which maybe he's related to Fidel. I don't know. That's a theory going around that his mommy boffed Fidel Castro because mommy was a commie and visited that country with daddy, and yeah, they love Fidel. Maybe she loved him long time. But that explained a few things. Explain his socialist leanings. They're genetic, perhaps. So, yeah, he's certainly more predisposed to socialism, so who knows. But, yeah, they're voting for dudes. What are you talking about? The women are already in control, though, because the dudes they're voting for will do anything these women want. That's why in California they have some no tax for women. If you're buying diapers or tampons, we won't tax you. They didn't pass that because, they hate women. They passed that because the women are complaining and want the free shit, so they gave it to them. And you got all these fucking single mothers getting tons of, like, $70,000, $80,000 worth of welfare resources. What are they getting that for? Because they're hated? This is a dumb broad. She's dumb. It's so scary that we have people this dumb educating our kids. Yeah, Minsta. Oh, she goes on to say, will they voluntarily do it? No, we have to resort to selective castration. What's your criteria going to be? Blonde hair, blue eyes? What are you going to do? What are you going to take gene samples and look for the markers that indicate intelligence? Oh, that's great. Get rid of all the intelligent people. Men are by and large the greatest number of geniuses, and it's those rare geniuses who create and innovate and create all the innovations that we have in the world right now, from our cars to our air conditioner to this monitor. So you get rid of all those people at birth, what are you going to have? An entire society of knuckle-dragging, low-IQ morons who can't innovate, can't create, can't drive the human race forward. You'll have no more technological innovation. We will literally live in 2019 forever if we go by her. In fact, we wouldn't even live that long because we would degenerate back into the Stone Age because the low-IQ morons that she wants to breed so she can control them, they wouldn't be able to maintain the technology we have now, let alone upkeep the infrastructure. They wouldn't have the intelligence. They wouldn't be able to learn the skills. So, and Wayman geniuses? I mean, for like every 100 male geniuses, there might be one. Maybe for every 1,000, there might be one Wayman genius. It's just not enough. It wouldn't be enough of them to go around. It's brilliant. She's an idiot. Oh, boy. Jesus Christ. If they cut your dicks off, it's no big deal, she told male students. That doesn't sound like a part of the thought experiment. That sounds like you giving your opinion. At one point during the debate, a student asked, so what system do you think is needed? Vera responded by saying, the matriarchy, a system based on the power of women. So let me get this straight. It's wrong to have one gender ruling. So we're going to have one gender rule. Okay, makes sense. You're a fucking moron. It's wrong. So we'll do it because it's wrong. The beleaguered educator, retarded, responded to the controversy in a Thursday interview with El Diario. In all these years of pedagogical work, I have never heard any complaints from students or their parents. Perhaps you weren't retarded enough to try and push such a stupid idea. My objective is to awaken the critical senses. Nah, your objective is to push man-hate, okay? And leftist ideology. And I do it by way of provocative texts. No. I love how they always backpedal. When they did this is their way of trying to push against established norms and see what's acceptable. And if they have sociologically transformed, reconstructed the society enough to allow this kind of speech, these kind of ideas to be muttered without anybody complaining. They're testing the boundaries of their work. They're seeing how far their work has progressed insofar as ideologically indoctrinating and brainwashing people to accept and be willing to accept this kind of ideology and this type of thought, which then would lead to behavior if they found it out that, yeah, people are perfectly okay with these ideas. Thankfully, they're not. Not yet. God willing, though, if they keep working hard enough, in 20, 30 years, the next generation of morons will be perfectly fine with male castration by Wayman and letting them take over everything. Even though they already have that through the vote, and they choose to elect men. Okay. Men that do everything the Wayman want to do. Yeah. All these politicians that get elected, they do everything the women want, but somehow we men are in charge. Okay, ladies, yeah. Yeah, so she goes on to say she's feeling overwhelmed by the public lynching. Oh, yeah, because, you express your hatred for men by telling them all they need to have their cocks cut off and be a serving class and sexual slaves to you. Yeah, nothing to get upset about there. Can you imagine if a man said any of this? Oh, my God, he'd lost his job. He probably would have been actually lynched. Strung him up to a fucking olive tree. Is that what they grow in fucking Spain? I know they have olive trees in Italy. Strung him up to a fucking olive tree. Lynched his ass. Yeah, the Aurelia Vera controversy is happening amid the broader feminist debate. I mean, if a man said any of this, he'd literally probably be castrated. They would have probably dragged him out of the town square. I guess Spain still has some town squares, some historical villages and shit where they would drag him out and bring out a very sharp knife and whack off his gonads. If he said any of this, that would happen. But her, I can hide behind the pretext of a thought experiment, and I was just proffering this unrealistic idea that I don't believe in, which she didn't say. She didn't in any way, shape, or form denounce anything she said and say, I don't believe any of this. It was just a radical thought experiment. No, she didn't do any of that. That right there to tell you she believes everything she said. But if a guy said any of this, oh, man, his life would be over. And I guarantee you she's going to get props from the feminist community and really won't suffer any long-term consequences. The ongoing culture war over the treatment of women has flared up in recent years. What do you mean treatment of women? You mean all the posh treatment they get? Guys opening doors, pulling out chairs, even though they don't do anything in terms of their female gender role to deserve that special treatment? You mean people who can claim to be equal, claim to not need men, but they suck up 85% of welfare resources in the West? I know they do in America. They don't pay any actual tax. They're a drain on the system. Men pay all the taxes, and they take all men's money, and then they live a life where they say they don't need men. And they sponge off the men some more with child support and alimony. Steal all their shit. They're 2 to 1 more likely to get a job than a man if they apply for the same job. Yeah, I'm not seeing the oppression here. What bad treatment are we talking about? 147 of America's 150 biggest cities, women make more money than men. I'm confused. Where's the oppression? If anything, it's going the other way. Feminists on one side argue that women still have plenty of battles to fight. That's people who are involved in making money off the cottage industry that is a victimhood of women. Yeah, plenty of battles to fight before we defeated the oppressive patriarchy. They point to issues such as recent pushes to curtail abortion. Oh, yeah. God forbid we actually have to be responsible. Can't have that. Let's kill some babies. Yeah, let's kill some babies and put them on a fucking stick and cook them up with some s'mores. Yeah, your total lack of regard for human life might be part of the problem. Meanwhile, critics accuse feminists of caving to the most radical adherents in their ideology. When they say radical, they mean the honest feminists. Not just the chameleon ones that pretend to, cloak themselves in an air of so-called respectability by telling you what you want to hear and pretending to be more moderate, even though there's no such thing as a moderate feminist. Just like there's no such thing as a moderate serial killer. I lop off the heads of women and I wear them as hats. But I am a very, very even-tempered, mild-mannered man. And I'm very moderate in my, as a person, whatever that means. Yeah, you can really be a moderate serial killer. You can really be a moderate feminist. I don't think so. The ideology itself is an evil death cult ideology that will destroy the world based on Marxism. There's no taking it away from the Marxism. It's cultural Marxism. Evil is evil is evil is evil is evil. Immoral is immoral is immoral is immoral. You can't just say, well, it's a more moderate form of cultural Marxism. There's no such thing. It's retarded. But people fall for this, like the Camille Paglia broad, that if you've ever listened to her talk, she's transgender. She identifies as trans. She's a lesbian, the boat. Oh, my God. And a feminist, and an egalitarian feminist. She's not anti-feminist, and people think, oh, she's so woke, so red-pilled. She's pro-man, anti-feminism. No. She's just putting on an act. And the only reason she speaks out against these so-called radicals, because to not do so would, ruin the reputation and the perks, the benefits that she gets as a feminist, that all women get, that she feels she's worked for her whole life, that she strived to gain for women, and now they're going to be lost because a bunch of fatties out there want to tell the truth. A bunch of purple-haired, fat, disgusting pigs who can't be happy with all the power and privilege they have. Now they have to tell all the people in the world what feminism's really about. Shut up, fatty! Shut up! I gotta pretend to be moderate, to be a spokesperson for moderate, reasonable feminism when there is no such thing. So the people will still, in some parts of the world, accept feminism. And the idea that men and women can be equal. But you can't reveal the true agenda. Shut up, fatty! Shut up, big red! Anyway... Yeah, so, crazy. Let's chop off men's cocks. All right, let's move on. I'm going to spend too much time on that story. Wow, here's another kooky story. Mom slept with 18 different men in one night and claims hubby is okay with it. Oh, wow, this is insanity. Even in today's wacky clown world, this is nuts. She's a mom. Not a stay-at-home wife. She's a mom. She's got kids. She's got a husband. And she slept with how do you even sleep with 18 dudes in one night? How does that work? Do these guys, was it a gangbang? Were all 18 dudes there? Did they just take turns? And who the hell would want to be sloppy number 18? Oh my God. I mean, I guess they wore condoms. I don't know. But condoms break, condoms leak. Some dude is pumping out a fucking geyser. The fucking condom can't hold it all. Uh-oh. This is insanity. Talk about irresponsible. You got kids, you got a husband, but I'm going to be irresponsible and totally destroy any respect my husband might have for me, totally destroy any respect I might have for myself, not to mention my kids. Yeah, what do you think the odds are they don't find out about this? What do you think the odds are one of these 18 dudes didn't record some of it? Oh, unless, of course, the cuck husband was in the bedroom at the time watching and jerking off the whole time. 18 different times? Oh, my God. Jeez, if this dude can get it up that much, why can't he keep his wife happy? Of course, I don't think anything could keep a woman like this happy, which is part of the problem. You know, she's a feminist. No normal woman would do this. All right, so after reaching her mid-30s, of course, there ain't too many of those left. After reaching her mid-30s, a happily married mom decided it was time to make a change and spice up her sex life. That's what your husband's for. You do realize he's got a cock too, don't you? You can't spice it up with him. However, she wasn't planning to try new things with her husband. Yeah, I got that from the title of the story. Instead, she wanted to discover what it would be like to sleep with other people. Why? Could it be that you slept? I mean, what is this? I don't understand this. If this husband of yours was your first man, why were you unable to pair bond? See, she slept with other guys. Come on. There's no women these days who don't sleep with other guys when they're young. There are no women these days that get married and are virgins. All right, very, very rare. You might find it in some obscure sects of the Christian church, but that's about it. And maybe Mormons, because, you know, they're banging 14-year-olds. And even then, those 14-year-olds might have had sex already, so I don't know. But yeah, so she lost her ability to pair bond, got married, got bored. I want to bang other dudes. Yeah, I see what's going on here. And it turns out her partner was completely on board with this unconventional desire of hers. You know, because the left wants it to become conventional. Whatever we can do to break up men and women is good. Yeah. Unconventional. Yeah. Very nice term there for retarded bullshit. So she went for it, and now the woman... I love this. If a dude slept with 17 broads in one night, he would be a man whore, a mimbo, he'd be a user of women. This evil Lothario bachelor scum using women for their bodies. This woman does the same thing. She's an empowered woman. What? She went for it. Went for what? You're talking about it like she accomplished something. I love how these women think that what makes a man is his ability to sleep with a lot of women. And, you know, conquest of women is what makes us men great, right? They want to be these gross, disgusting caricatures of what they think makes a man. That's what feminists are in a nutshell. That's what they see empowerment as. They clearly know nothing about being a man. That's why it's even more funny when they try to tell us men what it means to be a man. Toxic masculinity. Here's how to be a better man. Meanwhile, you don't know a goddamn thing about what it means. Went for it. This woman from Western Sydney, Australia, of course, top 5 feminist countries in the world. One of them is Australia. Known as Louisa, is opening up about her experiences with swinging and group sex, including one very racy night which saw her sleep with 18 different men. I wonder about this. Does the pussy get worn out? I mean, it's got to get worn out, right? It's not like the cock, okay? Doesn't it get all stretched out and weathered? I mean, yeah, the body produces fucking lube and all, and you can buy lube, and I know the vagina is made for intercourse, but come on. It's still flesh. You know, it's got a half-life, doesn't it? I mean, it's got a lifespan, and then it's worn out, right? I mean, doesn't all this sex just wear that shit out? God. The mom of 2, who grew up in a strict religious family, oh boy, revealed all her saucy bedroom antics in a podcast called The Sex Files. I don't want to hear that. Some old, worn-out mother of 3 banging a bunch of dudes. Oh, God. These must be some desperate dudes, by the way. She explained, I grew up in a strict Catholic family where sex outside of marriage was not even considered, and even then it was just to procreate. Is it possible she was a virgin when she got married? I mean, maybe she's a member or was a member of one of these obscure Catholic Christian sects I was talking about. Okay, maybe she was a virgin when she got married. So, see, this is the problem. You see feminists spin this yarn of the grass is always greener on the other side, you know? And the way they do this is by telling women to be empowered and to act like men. But what happens is that those kind of actions don't lead to happiness. And then the woman gets into this rut of never being happy, and she wonders why she's happy. And then she figures, well, I'll check the grass on the other side of the fence. Maybe it's greener. Maybe that grass will make me happy. And then she eats up all that grass. It's not very good. That make her happy. Constant consumption. It turns out of ever differing grasses isn't going to do it. Maybe that grass or that grass. So feminism programs women to be unhappy. And then women just hop around trying to be happy from cock to cock to cock. And they never find happiness because that's not how you find happiness. This woman could have found happiness, would have had happiness, but she had the mindset in her head that she was missing out on something. Missing out on something. I want to see what else is out there. And then she sees and will continually become more and more unhappy, and then like a drug addict, gonna chase the dragon. So she's constantly reinforcing the very behavior that's making her unhappy to try and find happiness. Great. Way to go, feminists! Brilliant logic you've got there. Lack of logic, excuse me. I did the right thing, and my husband was the first person I had sex with. Oh, boy. But that didn't mean I didn't have fantasies about sex with strangers. Why? Why would you have fantasies with sex? Oh, Jesus Christ. Feminism for you. Yeah, too much TV. Brainwashing women into thinking that this kind of stuff is going to bring them happiness. And it's the right way for a woman to be. Yeah. My local sex shop offered classes. And one of those was about swingers clubs. I'd like to be a fucking fly on that wall. Sex shop having classes? How does that work? You just walk in, immediately take off your pants. Because, you know, women don't wear dresses anymore. Take off your pants and get down to diddling yourself, and they give you directions. Nah, more to the right. Right there. Yeah, rub there. How the fuck do you have classes in a sex shop on sex? This is insanity. Oh, boy. We're living in Sodom and Gomorrah here. We're living in Rome at the height of its decadence. And that's right before it fell. It's crazy. I messaged my husband, and I was going on, and that I was going, and off I went. Oh, so you didn't even ask his permission. You just said, honey, I'm off to a sex romp. If you don't like it, that's too bad. Fuck off. Louise admitted that despite her husband's initial surprise, he was completely supportive. What a pussy. Any guy that would be okay with this is a total cuck. Okay? And he deserves what he gets. If I had a woman that I was dating, even if I was married to her, it wouldn't matter. Okay? If I had some woman and she was married, by the way, I wouldn't be stupid enough. I would see the red signs way early on that this broad was nuts, and I would get the fuck out of there. But if I had the misfortune of being baited and switched, which wouldn't happen to me. But, you know, if it did, and she came up to me and said, read this philosopher. I want to bang a bunch of other dudes. And she was serious. I'd say, okay. I'll see you in divorce court. Bye. She could beg and plead all she wanted. I'd be in that divorce court, and yeah, she'd be getting her fucking child support, and she'd be getting her alimony, but she wouldn't be getting me. But this pussy stays with her. Pathetic. No self-respect at all. And this woman has no self-respect either, by the way. It's very interesting. The very things the feminists say empower women, it takes away self-respect. How could you have any self-esteem or self-worth when you hand yourself around, you know, like an old snot rag? Like in that movie, the 13th Warrior. Remember that disgusting scene? If you've not seen this movie, it was a good one. It has Antonio Banderas in it. What the fuck? Something wrong with my tongue today. And they're in a tent with the Vikings after a long night of drinking, and the Vikings are passing around this disgusting bowl of water, and they're blowing their noses in it, washing their mouths out with it, and then the bowl comes to Antonio, and he just is like, pushes it away. But every other fucking guy in that room splashed their face with that water, snotted in it, or gargled with it. That's what this broad is. And that's a good thing? No, it's not a good thing. But feminism is taught here. It is. It's empowering to be liberated, even though you weren't enslaved to begin with. Idiot. It's crazy. He always felt like I had missed out. Oh, how? How would he feel like you missed out? Because you told him, right? I put him on a guilt trip for our 20 years of marriage, or 15 or whatever. Oh, she's in her 30s, so it could be, 10, 15 years of marriage, whatever. All the years we've been married, I made him feel guilty by telling him I missed out. And I made him feel inadequate by telling him he's just not good enough. He didn't get me off. He's not enough for me. I need more. You browbeat this poor bastard for 10, 15 years until he lets you have swinger parties and long sex trains of 18 black cocks waiting to bang you. What a pathetic dude. And what a pathetic broad, too. I tell him about my adventures. He loves it. Yeah. He always felt like I had missed out. Going straight from living at home to living with him and not playing the field. He's a soy boy. He was really supportive and loved that I was fulfilling a fantasy. You know who else had fantasies? You know who else had some fantasies? Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer had some fantasies too. He fantasized about clocking dudes over the head, tying them up, banging them, killing them, banging them, chopping off their heads, giving himself oral sex with their decapitated skulls, saving the heads, chopping the bodies up, eating the bodies, saving the butt so he could bang the butt a few more times, and then eating the butt too. And then getting rid of the bodies by dissolving them in big 50-gallon vats, big 50-gallon fucking barrels of fucking acid in his house. Oh, he actually did that? Yeah, some fantasies you shouldn't really follow through on. You had a fantasy, so the fuck what? I have fantasies too. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It doesn't mean I follow through on them, you dopey broad. What an idiot. I don't know what that means. A fantasy is justification for following through on the fantasy? What? Idiot. I tell him about my adventures, and he gets really turned on hearing to what I've been up to. Hearing about what you've been up to. It always leads to amazing sex for the two of us. Why couldn't you just role play? I don't get this. Why couldn't you just role play? I don't understand. So you can have amazing sex with your husband? What the hell do you need to be with 18 guys in a row? But despite the open nature of their relationship, the pair do have 2 rules. Oh, you got some rules. Oh, that's good. Louise must always practice safe sex. Yeah. How safe could it be? I don't get this. 18 guys in a row. How safe could it be? I mean, any one of these dudes could pull out and tug off the condom at any time. He could take it off while he's banging you from behind and you don't know about it. He could splooge inside you. And the next day it's AIDS time or syphilis time or whatever time it might be, depending on whatever STD he has. You have no guarantees. Condom could break. He could overflow that motherfucker. I don't know how. I mean, that loose coon she's got. I don't see how she could make any guy come all that hard. Jesus Christ, she's got kids? And she's got kids? What's going on here? You're risking your life. You're this promiscuous and having this much sex. The odds that something's going to go wrong, there's going to be an accident, a condom's going to break, something's going to leak, they increase exponentially. And you've got kids at home to worry about and take care of. You've got to be responsible. No! I'm a woman! No responsibility for me! That's all on the man. If I die, he can take care of him. Yeah, you're willing to die for some sex. I love it. You degenerate piece of garbage, you. You're a degenerate piece of human filth. I don't even know if you're human. You're like a rutting pig animal. No wonder we're in such dire straits. No morality. No responsibility. Let's just live this life of abandon and hedonism. No rules. Oh, but they've got 2 rules. Yeah, safe sex. Yeah. How safe can it be when you're buffing this many dudes? You can only dodge so many bullets. Even Neo got hit. He was the one, but even he could only dodge so many. Unbelievable. And they can't have any secrets between them. She has to tell him who she's been with. Wow, yeah, those are some real strict rules there. I can buff anybody I like, just so long as I let him know who I'm off. Wow, that's great. It's almost like you have no rules. Disguised as rules. As time passed, she became more and more adventurous. So up the risk-taking behavior. But there's no risk, because I practice safe sex. And decided to try having sex with a number of men, one right after the other. How does the pussy survive this? Again, I know it's made for some really... It's made for some abuse, but come on, 18 dudes in a row? The first time I did it, it was with 10 guys, and it felt amazing. You're a piece of filth, okay? You're a piece of filth. Feminism has taught you this is empowering behavior. It's not. Even animals don't do this. Animals have more self-respect. Intrinsically, they don't do this kind of stuff. They don't have our knowledge of morality. They don't have our level of self-awareness, but they don't do this shit either. Most of these animals pair bond. Yeah, of course, you got the cuckoo bird and cucks its mate and all that, but come on. This is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. You want me to name all the reasons? Oh, well, you wouldn't care, right? You've got 2 rules. Yes, the sex was great, but knowing that these guys are here for me and me alone is really empowering. You're a narcissist. You're a narcissistic cunt who doesn't care about anybody else but yourself. High off her experience. Yeah, I told you, it's like tracing the fucking dragon. I don't want actual happiness. I want artificial happiness like that a drug would give me. Except my drug of choice is banging a bunch of dudes. She soon wanted to try again, but this time she upped the numbers from 10 to 18. Oh, well, you gotta up the numbers, right? See how far you can push that pussy. And her husband was there to watch the whole thing. And even pass around some condoms. Dude, what's wrong with you? Get out. Get out. Get some self-esteem. Value yourself more. Guys, any woman that would do this to you or even suggest such behavior, she's evil. She's evil. And she's disrespecting you big time. And you're letting her. This guy's letting her. She added, my husband loves to watch my facial expressions. Well, that makes it okay then. He's like a kid in a candy store. Wouldn't the kid in the candy store actually get to eat the candy? How is he a kid in a candy store? I don't know how that works. I mean, if the kid is a kid in a candy store watching all the other kids eat candy, then sure. Otherwise, I don't see how that analogy works. But anyway, he jokes that he is happy to lend out his toys, but only if they're returned in the same condition he lent them. Yeah, but they ain't! You're getting worn out, bitch! You're like a porn star! I haven't even seen any porn stars that do a train of 18 dudes, although I'm sure there are some. Broads that have been sexually abused as children. This is great. This is great. Women really want to be victims, I guess, and destroy themselves. Yeah. Oh, because it's only women can be traumatized by this kind of behavior, right? I mean, only little girls, right? Not women. Excuse me, I misspoke. Yeah. Oh, a little girl, she's treated in this way. Oh, it'll only traumatize her. It won't traumatize me. Meanwhile, these women enter into these kind of situations, and they're being traumatized and destroyed, and they're destroying themselves, and they don't even seem to realize it. Yeah. Well, it's going to harm me any that I know. I'll pass myself around like an old snot rag or a bowl of water that Vikings pass around and piss and shit in and gargle with. Collectively, yeah, I'll be their snot rag. Sure, I'll be their toe jam rag. Sure, that won't hurt me in any way, shape, or form. The lack of understanding of how reality works is mind-boggling. No, you don't live in a bubble vacuum where nothing affects you. All the things you do have an effect on you, okay? Life is a cumulative effect, all right? Resulting in the person you are. Whatever cause yourself to, it's going to have an effect on you, okay? It's called personal choice. You're responsible for the person that you become, okay? It's your choice based upon the behaviors you choose to undertake. And you're choosing to bang tons and tons of fucking dudes while in the confines of marriage with kids. How could you ever possibly respect yourself? And I don't see how you think this could have no effect on you negatively. I just don't get it. I mean, unless she was as low as you could go, degenerate piece of scum filth at the start, right? Now she's just dragging her husband down to her level. Oh, boy. Yeah, I got to destroy my husband. He's too good. I have to bring him down to my level. This is just like this story I talked about the other day about some dude who was married to a woman who resented him because he was, in her mind, perfect, and she wanted to drag him down to her level so she wouldn't feel so bad about herself by contrast. This woman wants to drag him down to her level, and he's letting her. Loser. Towards the end of her interview with Sex Files, Louise proclaimed she doesn't have any regrets about the things she's done. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, sweetheart. Yeah, go, Chris. Yeah. I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist liberated woman. I have no regrets. I'm empowered. Yeah, right. Denial. Yeah. She says, life is too short. Too short for what? I don't get that. She also shared some advice for anyone who might want to give group sex a go. It's all in the planning. Oh, boy, get a life. Get a life, honey. Yeah. Because you find your meaning in sex, right? Oh, pathetic. Put your time and your energy and your effort and your planning into your kids and your family and your husband. You'll be a lot happier. No, I have no virtue. I can only get happiness through sex. I don't know how to be happy. I don't know what leads to happiness. So I'm going to chase that dragon. Yeah. Pathetic. That's some crazy shit, huh? There's more. There's much more. Next story. Justin Bieber. Oh, boy. You hear he got married? Married some skinny little waif-looking thing? Wasn't a bad-looking broad, but she wasn't that good-looking either, okay? I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I mean, as young as he is, getting married with his level of celebrity, what did he think the odds were that he'd find a broad that actually cared about him legitimately and didn't just want him for his money? I guess he wasn't thinking. She must have had a magic pussy, I guess. I don't know. If I had his money, Justin Bieber money, I wouldn't be letting my cock do my thinking for me, I'll tell you that. Anyway, Justin Bieber agrees to a UFC fight with Tom Cruise. Yeah, let's just up the ridiculousness of the world and what's happening in it to distract everybody from the degeneration happening around us. And the Hollywood star is up for it, too. I thought Tom Cruise's career was going good. The Scientologist nutjob that he is, who thinks the Xenu's real and there's a bunch of thetans living in all of us that need to be killed and cleansed. He's up for it, really? Oh, boy. Okay. That's very interesting. Can you imagine? Is this going to happen? Justin Bieber and Tom Cruise fighting? Has Tom Cruise even been in a fight, in a real fight? For those of you who don't know, he's kind of short. He's like 5'9". And if you want to know why he's so short, he was a gymnast. If you've ever seen any of his earlier movies, he was in that Risky Business. I don't know if he did any. It was like 1981. He's old, by the way. Older than me. Looks pretty good, though. He was a gymnast, when he was a kid. And for those of you who don't know, gymnastics is the toughest sport out there for men, at least in, just stamina, in intensity. In short-term intensity, that is the toughest sport. And it's not really designed for children's bodies. It puts such a strain on their bodies that they don't grow as tall or big as they normally would. That's why women gymnasts are such little fucking dwarfs, because they've stunted their growth. But hey, great sport. Yeah. But he'd be taller if he hadn't studied gymnastics as a kid. But that's my belief anyway. But anyway, he's 5'9". It's fine. And Justin Bieber, I don't know, what is he, like 6'2" or something, tall, gangly looking fucking kid. Looks like a goofball. Hipster doofus without the fucking beard. Goofy looking kid. He wants to fight Tom Cruise, who's like 58 years old or something. Why don't you challenge a geriatric? He's pre-geriatric. He's close to geriatric. He's probably got fucking arthritis because he does all his own stunts. Like Jackie Chan, who's in constant pain all the fucking time. He ain't much older than Tom Cruise. He's all fucked up. Why don't you challenge him? Of course, he actually knows how to fight. So you wouldn't challenge somebody who actually knows how to fight, right? Even though it's fantasy movie fighting, still, he'd probably kick your ass. So, yeah, I'm going to challenge Tom Cruise. For not 80-year-olds. Why don't you challenge Sean Connery? I think he's like 88 or something. Go challenge him. I'm sure you could whoop his ass, boy. Why don't you just find yourself a random nursing home and go challenge some old dude with a walker? Yeah, you could really get your street creds then, buddy. It's crazy. You're running around challenging old dudes to fights. Ay, ay, ay. So Justin Bieber may well be stepping into the ring with Hollywood legend Tom Cruise for the most bizarre fight of the century. I don't get this. I don't see this happening. Tom Cruise is a cachet actor, man. He's A-list. I don't think that he would reduce himself in the eyes of his fans by getting into a real sanctioned octagon fight with this pussy kid. I thought his career was going well, although that Mummy movie bombed. That was a piece of trash. Anybody see that? That Mummy? Hollywood has no new ideas, so they just keep regurgitating the same crap. But yeah, he was in that movie. It sucked. Has he made a good movie in the past 10 years? I don't think so. Well, that Out of Time, I forget the name of that movie, where he played a soldier who kept repeating the same day again and again and again until he could defeat the enemy. That was actually a good movie. That was decent. That was a decent movie, but that's the only one I can remember that has been decent. So the singer took to Twitter earlier this month to challenge Hollywood actor Tom Cruise to a UFC fight. He's a married guy now. Shouldn't he be making babies? Doing shit with his wife? Doesn't he have a job? Hobbies? He has nothing to do with his free time except get on Twitter and challenge random old celebrities to fights. You don't see him. By the way, you don't see him challenging 50 Cent to a fight, do you? Big, burly fuck. And I think he's 52, but he's black. He would whoop my ass. And he's bigger than Tom Cruise. No. And he's a real gangster. He was shot 9 times. I'm not going to fuck with him. Yeah. I'm going to challenge this old white dude to a fight. Yeah, you're so brave, Justin. How random. How random is that? And it appears as though Justin Bieber may be getting exactly what he asked for. According to TMZ, 57-year-old Tom Cruise, 57. I think Tom Cruise is older than this kid's father. Why don't you just challenge your father to a fight? Why don't you beat up your father? Why don't you beat up your father? Fulfill your little edible complex you got going on. Beat up daddy so you can have mommy. It's crazy shit, man. This kid's got some screws loose. He's 57-year-old Tom Cruise is likely to agree to take on 25-year-old hitmaker Justin Bieber in the ring. Hitmaker. When was the last time this kid had any hits? When he was like 18? Hasn't he been out of the spotlight for something like 6-7 years since he became an adult and became too old for all the little girls to moisten at the sight of him? Because that's really the only reason his record sold, right? It's kind of a form of softcore porn. These little girls are listening to him sing and imagine his pretty face as they frig themselves off. So, Ari, I don't know who that is, reportedly said he would love for the fight to happen, and Dana White agreed. Dana White, the dude that owns the UFC, really? It's also been claimed that during the conversation, Ari, I don't know who that is, there's no context here, said she strongly believed that Tom would agree to enter the octagon and take on Justin. I mean, I guess it's not relevant to the story, but they ought to explain who these people are. I don't know who the fuck Ari is. The news comes after Justin made the shock proposition to the Top Gun star on Twitter, a movie made before Justin Bieber was born, leaving fans flabbergasted. Yeah, he's a nut job. He's bored. He married some broad who wants him only for his money, obvious to everybody. And apparently the marriage isn't working out because I've seen pictures of those two out in public, and he's always like this. Oh, and you can see her constantly talking. Why doesn't she shut up? Oh, God, what did I get myself into? Now I can't divorce her because she'll take half my shit. So posting to his 105.7 million followers. Wow. I could only dream of having that many followers. He wrote, I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. Couldn't pick something else to randomly tweet. Why don't you challenge a real fighter to a fight, huh? Why don't you challenge that black, well, not even a real fighter. Why don't you challenge an actor who's actually still in fighting trim? Why don't you challenge that black guy that was in those Creed movies with Sylvester Stallone? Why don't you challenge him? He actually learned how to box. Why don't you challenge him to a fight? He's not a quote-unquote real fighter, but he knows how to fight. He learned how to box. Challenge him! No! I would have challenged an old fucking octogenarian who, his own arthritis meds and may or may not have, osteoporosis. I would have challenged him to a fight. Okay. It's crazy. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared, and you will never live it down. Really? Let's... I'm sorry. I got to take a look at this fucking... All right, first, I got to take a look at this kid. Let's take a look at him. Okay. Justin Bieber, as of the past month. Look at that little goofy fucking kid. What is he, duck walking? He's this gangly-looking Kramer doofus without the wacky hair that could be wacky underneath that cap. He's trying to be a wigger. I'm a wigger, baby. A black white man. I couldn't even rap. Look at his legs. They're all misshapen. He's duck walking. His body ain't even put together right. Hey, look at the old dude behind him. I guess that's his bodyguard. Why don't you challenge him? He looks like he's about 65. Why don't you challenge him to a fight? He's even older than Tom Cruise. No! He actually would whoop my ass. He's a trained bodyguard. Former Navy SEAL. I don't want to fight him even though he's 60. I want to fight Tom Cruise. Fake fighter. Actor. Plays cowboys and Indians for a living. LARPs professionally. I want to fight that old dude. I don't want to fight this old dude behind me. He would wipe the floor with me. Yeah. And my duck walking feet. Look at this gangly looking motherfucker. Is there any muscle on that body? He looks like a woman. Tall, gangly, doofus woman without tits. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a fight you can win, Justin. I don't even think he could beat up Tom Cruise, to be totally honest. I think he would lose. Look at him. What is that, a gold chain around his neck? It looks like that gold chain's weighing him down. He's kind of leaning forward. I don't know if that's because of the weight of the world is on his shoulders, because this broad he married is putting him through hell, or he literally can't hold his own body weight up because that chain is dragging him down because he's so pathetic and spindly and weak. All right, let's take a look at Tom Cruise as of a month ago. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Oh, huh. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for a 57-year-old dude. I think he's got some core strength there. Yeah. He looks pretty strong. He looks pretty fit. He doesn't look like a goofball, duck walking, like you do, Justin. And I imagine he's learned some fighting skills from his movies that he could apply in real life. My money's on the old guy. My money is on the old guy, okay? Sorry, Justin, but yeah, I think he'll crack those pathetic, misshapen legs of yours at the knee. Your duck-walking legs. Speaking directly to Dana White, the president of the UFC said, "Who is willing to put on the fight?" Dana White is willing. I always wondered about that Dana White guy. People who refer to themselves in the third person. I don't know. He's got some big ego, huh? Anyway, the I Don't Care hitmaker later revealed to TMZ that the whole thing started off as a joke. Oh, you don't want to do it now, do you? Now he probably wants to do it. His little wife probably spent all his money. That's why he sent this message. I need to make some more money. She'll leave me, and I have no money that she could take, so she'd take my house and my cars. I'm fucked. I gotta get more money that she can spend. Oh, shit. He said, it was just a random tweet. I do that stuff sometimes. Oh, God. He's low IQ, I think. He's kind of on par with Justin Trudeau, I think, IQ-wise. I bet he's a lefty. He's probably a male feminist, too. Tom is renowned for his athleticism and daredevil attitude. Yeah, Tom's very athletic, often performing his own stunts in action movies. He seems to have kept himself in pretty good shape. Again, I think my money would be on Tom, to be honest. So could this be the fight of the century? We sure hope so. I think it'd be a serious letdown. I think this kid has an unrealistic view of himself. He spends so much time around black gangster dudes in his entourage. He thinks he's some black gangster dude himself. I'm a tough wigger and I can throw down. Yeah. You've had too many yes men standing around you for too long telling you how great you were, kid. You would get your ass soundly thromped if you got in the ring with anybody who was halfway decent at fighting. Even Tom Cruise is an old guy. I think he'll whoop your ass. Oh, pathetic. Pathetic! But funny and crazy. This is the world we're living in now, where Justin Bieber is challenging old, almost geriatric, perhaps already geriatric. He probably already has arthritis, all the stunts he does and shit, and he ain't a young guy. Old dudes, challenging old dudes like him to fights. It's insane. We're living in a really crazy fucking time, and I don't like it. It's too bizarre. I don't recognize the world anymore. All right, moving on to the next wackadoo fucking story. Oh boy, it's just getting more bizarre. Listen to this. This is from the UK. Yet another lefty country. Essex Council proposes 25-pound lifting charge to help elderly people when they fall down. Woo! Holy shit! I've fallen and I can't get up. Let me help you. But first you must give me 25 pounds. Are you kidding? Oh my God, 1 second. Oh, I got something in my eye. Sorry, got some gunk in my eye. Lifting charge? You're serious? This is real. This is a real story, all right? This ain't from Mad Magazine or some shit. A lifting charge. So old people fall down. They're going to charge them money to help them up. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder how you implement that. Could you imagine? Old person falls down in the street. There's a mandatory charge. How does that work? How do you ensure that the old person actually gets charged? What if there's a good Samaritan that picks him up? Does the old person still get charged for the pickup? Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Good Samaritan to the rescue, zooms in, and there's a cop on the corner. You can pick her up, but she's got to pay a 25-pound fee. But I'm just a regular person. I don't work for the city. Doesn't matter. There's a 25-pound fee. Picks her up. Goes and, appropriates the necessary funds from her. You would need to have cops all over the city, just on the lookout for old people falling down, so they can charge them a pickup fee. That's crazy! Yeah. Can't investigate real crimes. We need to raise more money to give to those illegal aliens coming into our country that are stabbing us all to death in London. Yeah. So we can elect another Muslim mayor. That's great. Tendring District Council has proposed the extra charge to its existing care service for staff to visit the homes of people to help them get back up. This is for real! Yeah, I've fallen. And I remember back in the 80s or the 90s or something, they had those Medicare little amulets, little necklaces they would wear, and on the end was like this thing. You would push a button, and you could talk into it. It was like a one-way radio where you would push the button. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. We'll come help you right away. And then somebody comes to help you, and you got to pay them 26 pounds to help you get up. Damn, that is an expensive service. I'm in the wrong job. I need to get into the old person picker-upper service. I could make a fortune. I could undercut the state. You're charging 26? I'll do it for 20. Ooh, I could go live in the UK and get into the job of picking up old people for a living. I'd make a fortune. They're falling down all the time, you know. It's crazy. This is nuts. The council defended their plans to charge pensioners 26 pounds. It's 25.92. So 26 pounds to help them to their feet if they've had a fall. It's so nuts. Wow, this tells you just how bankrupt the UK is. They are actually having to charge old people to help them get up. You know, we're giving too much welfare to leeches and parasites, and we've got that pesky NHS, and we're paying for boob jobs and sex change operations. So, yeah, we're strapped for cash. We got to start charging old people to help them get up. What are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? I'm trying to think of ridiculous things people could charge you for. This is nuts. Next thing you know, they're going to have an extra charge to help the people in wheelchairs get on buses. You know how some of those buses have like a lift? Like if a person in a wheelchair wants to get on a bus, the driver pushes a button, and then this little elevator thing, this lift thing, lowers to the ground. He wheels into it, and then it lifts him onto the bus, and then he wheels into the bus. Next thing you know, they're going to charge for that. There is a £5 surcharge to help you get on the bus. It's crazy. Oh, boy. Unbelievable. So district council has come under fire for this. The lifting service will mean staff go to the home of the elderly person with a touch of a special alarm button. Wow. This must be a big problem. So chairman of the Tendering Pensioners Action Group told the Mirror, that's a publication, it meant people would be, in effect, penalized for falling down. Well, yeah. What are you going to do next? Charge people a fee if they need to be rescued in the water? You literally have to have cops standing around everywhere monitoring all behavior. Or CCTV cams, that's right, CCTV. They got CCTV cams everywhere in London. So you fall in the water, you get lifted up, the CCTV cams immediately identify you via facial recognition and then send you a bill in the mail. You fell down in public, and a good Samaritan helped you up. There is a £26 surcharge for any falling down in public that results in you being helped up. Next thing you know, they're just going to be charging you £26 for falling down. Not even for helping you up, or for some good Samaritan helping you up. We see that you fell in the Thames, and someone jumped in to help you out. There is a £50 charge for that. Here's your bill. Have a nice day. It's crazy. Oh, fuck. He said pensioners had paid tax for health services all their lives and were in effect being asked to pay again. This is the same thing in America. In America, there's some local municipalities that are charging people to use public parks. I'm not kidding you. Like if you go to the park to teach like a yoga class or something, if it's on the grass or something, you have to pay a tax, an extra tax. Because, you might mess up the grass. Isn't that what tax dollars are for? Yeah, but we don't spend those very well. We're very inefficient with our spending, so you need to pay more money. Why don't you just spend more conscientiously? No! You need to give us more money. It's great. Oh, this is crazy. The council says it's already consulted customers, and 60% of those who responded said they were in favor of the move. In favor? Wow, they got a good bunch of useful idiot lemmings in the UK. Oh, help! I've fallen and I can't get up. We'll come help you out as long as you pay us £26. I don't have £26. Sorry, you're kind of out of luck. You're going to have to get yourself up. It's a tough world. Life ain't fair. I'm sure you'll be fine. A month later, this woman, this poor old lady that fell, her kids come to the house to visit her. They bring a fruitcake. Mammy, we're here to see you. Ah! This rotting corpse on the ground. Drops the fruitcake. Plate breaks. There's just horror everywhere. Her old, desiccated corpse lying on the ground. I've fallen and I can't get up. She never got up. She died on the ground. That's great. Woo! The scheme hopes to reduce the need to call the ambulance for simple falls. Yeah. It's a scheme, all right. That's the perfect word for it. A scheme. Oh, my God. This is so funny. You old people have too much money. We got to make sure you get rid of your money. It's not good enough that we charge you a 50% death tax. Now we're going to charge you to help you up, too. What's next? What's next? I don't know what's next. I can't think of anything right now that's nutty or crazy. I'm sure I'll come up with something later, though. Oh, my God. That's so insane. Talk about taking advantage of old people. Yeah, you've lived your life. You've been conscientious. You've saved your money. Well, I guess you don't have to do that these days, especially in the West. What with Social Security. We'll blow all our money before we die, and we know the government will be there to take care of us. But if we didn't know that, we might actually save our money and be conscientious and have enough to live on in savings without the government. But fuck that. But yeah, some of these people have been conscientious. They've saved. They've scrimped, they've saved, they've been responsible, and now you want to take their money. They shouldn't be able to pass that on to their kids and give those horrible little ankle biters privilege. Oh, no! Those kids should be horribly broke. Losers, just like the rest of the world. So we're all equal! And then we can give some of that money to these horrible broke loser kids who are the kids of horribly broke loser parents. But then wouldn't that mean that it's not equal anymore? You stole the money from the responsible people who wanted to leave it to their kids, and then their kids didn't get it, but some other kids who didn't have responsible parents get it, and then they have that money, but the kid of the parents who were responsible has nothing. So where's the equality? I hear. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, that's nuts. Nuts. Next. Oh boy. There's more. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, wait, did I miss it? Yeah, I missed the picture. That old broad picture that popped up before. My phone and I can't get up. I wonder if they took this picture for this actual story, or if this is just a stock photo they paid for the rights to. I don't know. Now imagine that old body. Now imagine that old woman as a desiccated corpse. She can't crawl? I wonder, she couldn't crawl to a phone? Do you think any of these old people will die if they can't afford to pay the lifting fee? They could crawl to a phone and call their kids. What if they have no kids? Think their cats will help them up? You're helping your cats, all right. They'll eat you after you die. This is so great. I can imagine corpses littered throughout London old folks' homes, or just London houses where these old people live alone because the hubby died. Because they're going to be majority women, because they outlive men, because the hubbies die, because they worked hard, worked themselves to the bone to support these women and these kids, and then they die. That's some privilege, huh? All these old broads' corpses laying with spider webs, covered in spider webs, and just these desiccated bones, and their flesh is just turned to goo and leaked into the wood flooring. It's crazy. And they've been there so long, it's just a mummy. You're going to need a seance to ask her what the fuck happened. It's great. Oh, this is some funny shit. Crazy, but funny. Yeah, all right. Let's move on to the final nutty story. This shouldn't take too long. Yeah, all right. So, oh, no, there's more. Oh, no. I think that I missed a story. And this one I think I want to discuss more than this other story. Or maybe I'll get to both. But this is so kooky. Do you all remember the ma'am dude, the tranny that went into that GameStop and threw a hissy fit because the guy behind the counter called him sir, and the guy flipped out and he started knocking shit over? It's ma'am, bitch! It's Zoe Tur, bitch! Remember Zoe Tur? They had all those memes made about him. That tranny that was on that panel with Ben Shapiro, who grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and threatened to send him home in an ambulance. And then Ben Shapiro had a clever rejoinder, but you don't go home in an ambulance. You go to the hospital in an ambulance. That's what it reminded me of. It's ma'am, bitch! Where's my stogie? I need to make my voice even deeper. Oh, yeah, it's ma'am. That's better. Well, he's back. It turns out this fruitcake is actually a rapper. This guy in his 40s, I think he's 46 or 47. He looks every bit of it. He looks older, actually. I guess that's what happens when you wear makeup. It ages your face prematurely. And yet women wear it anyway. And then wonder why they hit the wall so hard. I'm putting this caustic shit on my face every day so I can get an advantage over men by sending out sexual signals that'll make them differential to me because they want my poon. But it's fucking up my face. Oh well, I want that power in the now. Yeah. So this Fruit Loop is a rapper, and he did a fucking video, a music video, believe it or not, where he's rapping on Facebook. This shit is hilarious. Let me see if I can bring it up. All right? So it should start playing immediately when I click on it. All right, let me see. Yeah, Ma'am Freak 1. This is great. I'm gonna have to move over, sub, because if I don't, you won't see my face. All right, let's. Okay, this should be good. This should be good, man, freak.
I'm the trans MC, coming from the desert sand and heat. My rapping steez is actually synonymous with savagery. Yeah, it's me.
I'm sorry. I gotta start it again. This is too good. Oh, this is too good. I'm gonna have to break into his rap on occasion to make a snide comment. All right, let's check this shit out. Look at this. Look at this freak. That's the dude. That's the ma'am dude. It's ma'am. What's your corporate number? It's ma'am. Look at that. He's got tits. Look at that. The tits are real. Look at this. This is a tranny? This is the worst looking tranny I've ever seen. This is like your worst drunk nightmare, right? I mean, this is your biggest fear. One of the reasons I wouldn't drink. I don't think I'd have this bad a judgment, even drunk, though. You go to bed, and you wake up, and this is next to you. Holy shit. That's scary. What are those, prison tats? Are they prison tats? You think he'd be popular in jail just because he's got tits? I don't know. You think maybe the reason he's so famous because he went to prison and he was a bitch boy for all those dudes in jail, and he came to like it maybe and decided he was trans? You think that's what's going on here? Look at that one arm. It's all inked. It's a hideous trans dude. I've seen some trans that, actually decent looking in the face anyway. This guy, no. I guarantee you, he's still got his cock and balls. That deep voice. All right, let's hear this dude rap crappily.
I'm the trans MC.
He's the trans MC. Trans MC. He thinks he's Eminem. I think him and Eminem are about the same age, but Eminem looks a lot better than this. Jesus Christ.
I'm the trans MC, coming from the desert sandy heat.
Coming from the desert sandy heat? Where the hell does he live? Is he in Arizona? Texas?
My rapping steez is actually synonymous with savagery, yeah.
I'm savage. It's ma'am. Hulk smash. It's great.
That's me. I'm the face of a revolution.
Revolution? For what? What are you revolting against? Revolution comes from the word revolt, or the word revolt comes from the word revolution. Either way. What are you revolting against? I don't get it. Yeah, he's kind of the same kind of revolutionary as Che Guevara. Yeah, not really a revolutionary, just championing an evil ideology. Yeah, that's what these trans are championing. The same ideology that Che Guevara believed in. Yeah, he's about as much a revolutionary as that scumbag. All right, let's continue.
On a mission for recognition, a movement for trans inclusion.
Mission for recognition and trans inclusion. What are you not included in? I don't get it. What are you not included in? You went to that GameStop and everybody got down on their hands and knees. I worship you. Don't call my boss and get me fired from this crappy job. By the way, what is a GameStop? Is a GameStop, do they sell games? Do they rent games? Does anybody rent games anymore? I guess they sell games. I didn't think GameStop was still around. I thought people bought their games online now and downloaded them. I don't know. He wants inclusion and recognition. What do you mean recognition? I recognize that you're trans and that you're a freak. You want me not to recognize that? You want me to recognize something different? You can't control what I think and feel. How about I want to? I want to control what you think and feel. Obviously. Okay, let's continue.
I came from the destitution.
Came from the destitution? By the way, this guy's rapping sucks. As does his writing.
Direct result of this patriarchal system is a sacrificial altar.
Patriarchal system? Hey, buddy, you're a dude. By your own retarded feminist theory, you're part of that patriarchal system. I am not. Because I have become a Wayman, and if I identify as a Wayman, I no longer have a cock and balls. And even if I have a cock and balls, objective reality does not matter. Urgh! Feel the burn! Crazy fuck. Patriarchal system. This is fucking hilarious.
Fucking vultures.
Vultures? Uh-huh, yeah. You're not the vulture, right? We're the vultures. You're not feeding off everybody else, right? No. You're not playing victim. No, of course not. No. We normal people are the vultures, right? Don't call me abnormal. I want to be included in your normal world, so I must transform your normal world into an abnormal world.
They thicker than the thievery they practicing.
Thievery? What are you talking about? You're a lefty. You're a leftist. You believe in patriarchy. You believe in feminism. You're a feminist. You're a leftist. Marxist. Feminist or Marxist. You believe in redistribution of wealth. Thievery? That's the height of thievery. You want to steal shit from people who have worked hard to get what they have so you can give it to yourself. Yeah, but they're thieves? What an idiot he ascribes to the zero-sum game fallacy. Look at that face. He's hideous. Talk about prematurely aging. I think you're hitting these schnapps a little too much, pal. A few too many Jack Daniels. Oh, my God.
Trolls spewing bigotry, claiming to be an activist. Well, motherfuck your fascist shit. The future's intersectional. There's no debate. The time for hate is over with.
Intersexual. Fascist. See, these are all leftist buzzwords.
Just let it go. We have to make a spectacle just to be seen as relevant.
Have to make a spectacle just to be seen as relevant. Yeah. Like going into a GameStop and flipping out because somebody called you sir. Because they mistook your long hair for a mullet and didn't see that you had tits and that you wanted to be called a Wayman.
Then y'all get it twisted, making anthills out of elephants.
Making anthills out of elephants. So, there's a real big problem here. Yeah. The problems, the challenges trans people face are being minimized.
Y'all minimize what's major and attempted maceration.
He's redundant as hell. You're making elephants into anthills. So that's a pretty clear analogy. I know what you're saying there. I know what you're doing. I know what you're saying. The metaphor is clear. You're saying that people are minimalizing, and then you go on and say that people are minimalizing. That's like saying no pun intended. But this was the pun. I have to point it out to you. What a moron!
You do it in the name of the Christian God that you pray to.
Christian God? Oh, he's got a problem with Christians. It's funny that he has no problem with the Muslims that would toss his ass off a roof in a heartbeat if he was in Saudi Arabia or something. I could imagine there's a bunch of Muslims sitting online right now watching this guy, and they're like, pulling down their long beards that they're not allowed to shave. I wish he was here now so I could take him to the top of our tallest building and toss his ass off. Oh, but the Christians are the bad ones. Okay.
We're coming to take the power back by force if you're making us.
Ooh, take the power back. I'm confused. I don't recall trannies ever having power in America in terms of running things. So how could you take it back when you never had it to begin with? And we wouldn't want you to have it because your ideology is to kill everybody that's not like you. I guess that's why you like the Muslims so much. They have the same kind of ideology, except you are in the category of not one of them. And they would toss you off a roof too, pinhead. Yeah, you believe in inclusion. No, you don't. You're all about exclusion.
No matter what you throw at us, you're never fucking breaking us.
Look at this fucking guy. Oh, my God. That is one hideous dude. Talk about craggy face. Jesus Christ. I imagine him puffing away on the biggest fucking cigar you could ever fucking imagine. To turn his skin into that disgusting, cragged out, just leached of wool color, parchment, old 200-year-old parchment looking face. It's hilarious. It's ma'am! Yeah, it's ma'am, all right. Yeah. It's great. I love it. Okay. Woo! That's beautiful. Beautiful. Hilarious. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with, people. Those are what we're dealing with. Freaks, degenerate scum. Yeah, we're all about inclusion. And we want to take over so we can make everybody like us and discriminate against those people who ain't like us, who discriminated against us for so long. Because two wrongs make a right. And there is such a thing as positive discrimination in terms of race and sexuality. It's very interesting. They say that they're trying to equalize things when they get power by using the same methods that they call unjust and discriminatory and label as negative discrimination, and then they call it positive. Well, we're practicing positive discrimination, you see. Well, why can't it be positive on my side? Our ideology doesn't say that. That's why. Okay. Yeah. But you're the inclusive one, right? I'm the one excluding. And by the way, I don't exclude. I don't care. Be what you want. Be what you want. I don't give a fuck. You freak. Just don't impose your freakery on me. But that's not enough. No, not enough. All right, but that's enough of that. Let's move on. Yeah, this show is becoming very long, but I want to cover all these stories. All right, next and final story. Elementary kids get a special surprise. Drag performance. Of course. Drag performance at school talent show. Lovely. Parents of students at a public elementary school in East Harlem went to see their kids at a talent show last week. But instead what they got was a full-on drag performance. Yeah, because, I go to kids' talent shows to be exposed to drag queens. Yeah. Even though if I wanted to see drag queens, I would go to a drag club. The degenerate city that is New York, there's plenty of them. So, it's easy to find. But no, I have to be forced. I have to be forced in the context of being a captive in this audience because my kid's in the talent show. I have to be forced to watch some dude dressed up as Barbra Streisand strut around on the fucking stage and show off his hoo-ha to everybody. Yeah, that's something I want to see, really. No. Mom Raquel Morales couldn't believe her eyes as she watched the erotic dance with her 10-year-old son sitting next to her. Oh, boy. Even as I'm recording, I'm like, this must be deja vu. I'm dreaming. This isn't happening in a school assembly. This can't be, Morales said. She's one of these anchor baby ladies. Or maybe she's an illegal alien. I don't know. But she's clearly first generation Mexican-born or something. Somebody from South America, right? She's first generation, probably anchor baby, had a kid here. Yeah. And as much as she's inclined to leftism and socialism, even she has a problem with this. The performer in drag was none other than the president of the PTA at PS 96. Frankie Quinones. Video shot by Morales shows him twirling and gyrating to a song by 80s Puerto Rican performer Irish Chacon. On an event flyer, the drag show was only billed as a special surprise performance. I bet it was a special surprise. I bet it was a special surprise when he was twirling. And the dress flew up and you saw a big bulge. That's the special surprise. Yeah, but a lot of those kids were like, that's a dude. Yeah, that's a surprise, all right. I don't know about how special it is. Oh, it's especially disturbing, for sure. Morales questioned what organizers were thinking. Yeah, it's pushing boundaries. It's essentially trying to normalize that which is abnormal. That's why all this weird shit continues to happen, so people become used to it, and then they eventually will come to accept it. As part of how you restructure society. It's called social deconstructivism. Before you then reconstruct it in the form of the new normal that you want. Part of that new normal is a global government world without borders. Yeah, where nobody is an alien. Like this broad, I think. He got on all fours on the choir stand. He laid on his back, raised his legs, opened them wide. Ugh. What made you in your head think that was appropriate for elementary school students? Morales said. I don't think this guy's thinking. He's living in his own bubble, right? Echo chamber where all this stuff's normal. PS 90 had no answers, nor did District 4. However, the Department of Education said the content of the performance was inappropriate, and a school administrator has spoken with the parent. Me, Miss Morales, right, to try and, feed her some equivocation language and some gobbledygook to justify it and placate her. Why isn't the school administrator speaking to this PTA president? It's crazy. Other parents at the school didn't even want to talk about it, but Morales said she's glad she spoke out. They didn't want to talk about it because they were afraid of being labeled transphobic, homophobic, whatever kind of phobic you could come up with. See? They've pushed the boundaries of what's acceptable to the point where almost nobody will speak up. And eventually it'll reach a point where no one will. And then they will have won in full. They already have won, really. I mean, this guy's not going to be punished. This freak. What I wanted was an apology for the community. Yeah, they're leftists. They don't apologize. Are you kidding? That's what they make conservative pussies do. They don't actually do it. They're not going to play by their own rule book. No. It was poor judgment, lack of judgment on his behalf and on District 4. Okay, let's check this out. I have a video of this. Woo! This is good stuff. This is good stuff. All right, where is it? Fag School Dancer 1. He's got to be a fag. There's no straight dudes doing drag, okay? Come on. Okay, here we go. I think I need to move over. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, old hag broad doing the news. Okay. All right, let's hear what she has to say.
Parents of New York City public school students in District 4 went to see their kids in a talent show. But the parents saw a whole lot more than they expected. A suggestive riff on Puerto Rican performer Iris Chacon. Bump and grind in a see-through sequin dress.
I don't get it. What's appealing about this? I thought gay people like dudes. Wouldn't they want to see a dude dancing around, probably buck naked or near to it? What's with the dressing up as Wayman? I don't get this. There's something very odd about homos I've never understood. They're supposed to like cock and balls, okay? And assholes on men. What's with this feminization of a man? Wouldn't that mean they're into women too? I don't understand this. Why? It's very strange to me. It makes no sense. Anyway.
Mom, Raquel Morales, couldn't believe her own eyes, sitting in the audience with her 10-year-old.
So she's probably a single mom. What is that, a tattoo? She got a tattoo on her left shoulder? Kid's got some bug eyes. Something wrong with him. Something wrong with her, too. Is that hair under her armpits? She's a feminist, I'm guessing. With that tattoo and that armpit hair, she's a feminist. And even she has a problem with this. Oh man.
Son.
Even as I'm recording, I'm like, this must be deja vu.
Yeah, she's a single mom. Single mom because they're talking about how she was there with her 10-year-old son, but the husband wasn't there because there was no husband. There was no daddy. So even a single mom has a problem with this shit. Oh, boy. That's only because she was brought up by Latinos, Mexicans in New York City. They were probably not born in America. So, yeah. Okay.
Dreaming. This is not happening in a school assembly. This can't be.
The performer in drag, none other than the president of the PTA at PTS 96. The program for last week's show billing the performance as a special surprise. Morales questions their thinking.
He got on all fours on the choir stand. He laid on his back. He raised his legs, opened his legs.
What is that? Oh, that's not good. He didn't even get the leg all the way up. I mean, dude, if you're going to try to do a leg split like that, at least be flexible. He couldn't even get his leg all the way straight. I don't want to see that. I mean, even if this guy's wearing underwear and tights and shit, the kids see the cock and balls. You can see the cock and balls and all that shit very clearly. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
It's wide open. What made you in your head think that was appropriate for elementary school students?
They don't think logically, critically, reasonably. They're lefties. They're all about feels. It's interesting. This immigrant woman. You could tell she has the accent. She's first generation American, if she was even born here. She probably came here with mommy and daddy as a child. Maybe she's a dreamer. I don't know. But, yeah, maybe her kid is the anchor baby. I don't know. But, yeah. Even she's got an issue with this.
PS 96 had no answers for us, neither did the district. However, the Department of Education says the content of the performance was inappropriate, and a school administrator has spoken with the parent. Other parents at the school didn't even want to talk about it today, but Morales says she's glad she spoke out.
All I wanted was an apology for the community. And yeah, it was poor judgment, lack of judgment on his behalf and on District 4.
The DOE also says the performer has exhausted his number of terms as PTA president, and a new one will be elected later this month. Mrs. Morales' report card for both the school and the district? An F and a triple X. In East Harlem, I'm Roseanne Coletti, News 4 New York.
It's great. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, she gave him an F. I give him an F too. F minus. No grade. You scored so low, you didn't even get an F. Is there anything below an F? I think 50 to 59 is an F. Right. So what's below a 50? Whatever's below that is what that performance gets. Wow. It's so crazy. I told you this was some crazy shit. Ah! Oh, boy. They want to turn you nuts. They want to turn you into a deviant. They want to turn you into somebody who sees all this stuff as totally normal. Drag performances at kids' talent shows, perfectly normal. Justin Bieber and fucking Tom Cruise duking it out. For whatever reason. Totally normal. Yeah, that's normal, huh? Trans dude that's the most butch-looking dude with a tatted arm sleeve, prison tats, and fake tits rapping about being oppressed as a wayman. They want you to think that's normal. Mothers of 3, married, sleeping with 18 dudes in a row on a regular basis. Perfectly normal. Yeah. Women teachers, feminist, man-hating teachers telling boys that they're going to have their gacky balls cut off. And they're going to live in a world where waymen run everything. And they're nothing more than cattle to serve the waymen. And some will have their cock and balls cut off. And others will keep their cock and balls because those are the ones that the women want to breed with. Perfectly normal. We're living in end times, people. We're living in end fucking times. And I'll be shocked and amazed if this doesn't come to shots being fired. I'll be really, really amazed if there isn't some kind of civil war in America, or at least some kind of armed conflict that happens that wakes people up, or doesn't. And we continue along this path to destruction. We continue to plod along toward that cliff like the lemmings following the flute-playing dude, until we just march off, blissfully ignorant as to what's awaiting us at the bottom, and then splat. And that's it for Western civilization. This is the longest show I've ever done. So let me know what you think in the comments section, and please like and subscribe and follow me on BitChute. Yes, I'm on BitChute. I got more followers there than I do on YouTube. Imagine that, because I know for a fact I'm shadow banned, and that 90+% of my views do not come from being recommended. Meaning 95% of the time, I don't get recommended to anybody. In fact, it's down to something like 2%, if I recall. I got 2% recommendation rate. Whoa, wow, yeah, geez, I'm really getting out there on YouTube, huh? So every view I have is culminated from me advertising on other sites. I'm almost never recommended on YouTube to anybody. So if you want to really see my content raw and real and in its most original form, follow me on BitChute and on PocketNet.app. This is a great new site. It's like BitChute in that it's 100% blockchain, can't be censored, but it also has chat rooms and features similar to Twitter and Facebook, yet it's 100% free. And the video player is good, the picture quality is great. And also, if you sign up for it, you'll get they have a cryptocurrency as well that's worth actual money. If you sign up for it, you'll get 5 crypto coins right off the bat. Any content you view, those people will get a small amount of cryptocurrency. So there's actually a sort of ad revenue that you can get on there. So that's one way you can contribute to my platform. Another is by donating directly. By going to therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That is therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That's my website. If I ever get booted off of YouTube for whatever reason, you can always find direct links to all the platforms I'm still on at my website, therealistphilosopher.com. And /donate. I'm on Patreon. I'm on Subscribestar. You can make direct one-time donations using PayPal via the Tippy Stream link. So there's lots of different ways that you can donate to keep my content alive. But again, if you sign up for PocketNet.app, I was really impressed with it. So it's very secure. When you sign up for it, they give you this long sentence that'll be your password. And you would use that to sign in whenever you sign off. I choose to just stay signed in. But if you sign off, you use that to log in. So you'd cut and paste it. Or they have a QR code. So you just save that. And whenever you want to log in, there's a button you push. And it loads the QR code automatically. And then that's it. You're logged in. So it's very easy to log in. It's very secure, and it's 100%. Nothing can ever be deleted from it. You post anything, say anything, it can't be deleted. You can block people and ignore them, but you can't delete posts of any kind. It's a great platform. A lot of people think the way I do, the way you do are there, so go check it out. That's pocketnet.app. And also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I always post updates for whenever I put live content out there on those platforms. And I also sometimes reply to the crazy lefties. But not as much anymore. It's fruitless. Kind of a waste of time, really. They're not going to wake up. All right, folks, that's it. This is the longest show I've ever done, so I got to cut it short here. Hope you enjoyed. You'd like to chat with me more, maybe beyond the show, or there's a subject you want me to discuss, you can go to admin@therealistphilosopher.com. You can email me there, that is. That's admin@therealistphilosopher.com. And that's it. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care, everybody.